22 News Plus studio. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of InFocus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. It is a fun day here in the studio. I've got Westfield's very own Madison Curbelo joining me. Madison, thank you very much for coming into the studio. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
We're not in the Mass Appeal studio.
I know, it's different.
It is different.
Different.
But you've still got your guitar with you, which makes it a lot of fun. Let's talk a little bit. Let's start off, for those viewers watching who may not know you or know about you, let's talk a little bit about your background. So, you're a fellow Westfieldian, Whipsidian. I don't know what we're called, but you're from Westfield.
Yes.
Born and raised in Westfield, went through the Westfield school system, right?
Yeah.
And when did you start singing and begin a love of music?
My goodness. Well, I always grew up, my dad would always play music around the house, and I kind of fell in love with the songs that he loved, like Bob Marley, George Michael, and things like that. But it was when I was 9 years old. So I grew up, I was really shy, and I had a stutter actually when I was a kid. So I would sometimes be like really embarrassed to speak out loud. And then it kind of like naturally progressed into like trying to express myself through music. And I did my first talent show when I was 9 years old. And ever since then I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do forever. So yeah, it's amazing.
So was there something, were there music lessons, music classes, music participation through middle school, high school, or after that really helped you hone your craft? Was there anyone, that really kind of brought that real talent? Everybody goes through, we all go through music class and choir or whatever, but some people like you have someone in your life who really sees the talent and pulls it out of you. Was there any time in your life where someone in your life who really got that out of you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that was really formative for me was actually doing high school band with Mr. Kennedy, Patrick Kennedy. He was just amazing at like showing his love of music to us, and I think it kind of like rubbed off on me a little bit. And then whenever there was like a chance to sing, he would ask me to do it, or whenever someone would ask for someone to sing like an anthem somewhere, he would ask me to do it. And he's just still so supportive, even though I've been out of high school for way too long now.
Don't even start.
He was just so incredible and so helpful, and yeah, I would say he was a big factor in me going for it and trying to pursue it 100%.
And that part of high school, did it also help you kind of get that stage fright out of your system too? Because, I mean, both my girls went to Westfield High as well, and you go to these performances, and it's amazing to see the maturity, the bravery of the students to get up and sing and perform in front of those crowds. So that environment had to have helped you.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was of the mindset of just trying to sing anywhere that I could, and that definitely helped because I was like, I'm going to get over the stage fright whether I like it or not.
So the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I started teaching students when I think I was 21 when I started to teach like younger kids. And that was my biggest advice. I'd always have them do like recitals for people and tell them to go out and sing. Because I think you really learn the most when you're experiencing it and when you're on stage and singing for an audience. That's the best lesson that you could ever get in doing this.
I love it. So let's shift gears now or fast forward now to your time on NBC's The Voice. Yeah. You've been on twice, right? Seasons 21 and 25, I think it were.
Season 20 and 25.
20 and 25. Okay. So what was that like? I mean, you go from singing with Pat Kennedy at the high school auditorium.
Which was amazing.
Which we don't, Pat Kennedy's a wonderful man. But then you're on NBC. What's that like?
Oh my goodness. I think it's still something that I have to come to terms with that it happened. It was really just like a full-fledged lesson in like Hollywood and like the music industry. But it was so amazing. I met so many amazing people that I'm still really close friends with, and I'm friends with like producers, and I still sometimes talk to the coaches and still connect with them a little bit. So it was just amazing and like something that I'm still wrapping my mind around.
So your first season 20 on NBC's The Voice, how far did you make it?
I actually didn't make it past the blind audition.
Really?
Yeah.
And then fast forward a few years, season 25, you made it to the top 10.
Yeah. Semifinals, which is crazy.
So you go from, you didn't make it through the blind auditions to top 10.
Yeah.
So in that, you ended up working with Dan and Shay, correct? And tell me a little bit about that experience.
It was amazing. The big reason why I had chosen them was because it was kind of like you get the best of both worlds with two coaches. Like Dan was really focused on the songwriting and like the arranging, and then Shay was more of like the vocalist.
Okay.
So I feel like I really got such a well-rounded experience with them in both of those things. And they were just so nice and so supportive and so comforting, which I think is really important when you're on there and you're stressed to have those people that you just look out to and you're like, okay, I could do this.
So let me ask you, as a viewer,
Mhm.
we sit there, we watch you, we just assume, rightly or wrongly, that there is an auditorium full of people watching you. Is that the case, or is it just you with maybe a handful of employees of the show and of the network and Dan and Shay and the other judges, or is it truly an auditorium full of people?
So it's interesting because there are people in the audience, but I think they make it seem like they're all over the room.
Yeah.
But really, I was facing a wall with just the 4
Oh,
coach
okay.
chairs in front of it. And there
Interesting.
was 2 sets of like audience members, but they were kind of like small. Until we got to the lives, they added more people,
Right.
but it was a lot more intimate than you would think it would be. So I think that really helped with like the nerves and everything. Because I was like, oh, I'm just singing for these
A handful of
people. Like,
people.
yeah. There's no one at home watching this. It's.
So that experience,
Mhm.
I guess over the weeks, it sort of builds up to that. So you kind of, again, going back to my, our question or comment a moment ago, you're building that bravery, that stage, eliminating that stage fright, because over weeks you get to that point where you're
Yeah.
performing in front of multiple people, but still you got to be nervous.
I was definitely so scared. I like think about it because they had told us because there's like a set of I think it was like 4 or 5 steps to get onto the stage.
Okay.
So they were telling us like don't rush up the stairs because we don't want you to trip and also we don't want you to be out of breath. But they were like once you get to your mark, we're going to start the music. So my brain was like I'm going to go really slow up the
Take it
stairs.
easy.
So I was very slow getting there because I was like once I reach the little mark on the floor it's going to start, but I think once you do it and it's happening, it's kind of like your adrenaline is so pumped up that you don't even feel it.
Yeah,
So
you're just going.
yeah, and I kind of blacked out until I saw them looking at me and I was like, "Oh, this is real. It's happening."
That's funny. That is
Yeah.
funny. Well, we are up on our first commercial break. We're here with Madison Curbelo from NBC's The Voice, and also, most importantly, she's from Westfield. We'll be right back after this.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back to today's edition of In Focus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. Across the desk from me is Madison Curbelo from Westfield. You might recognize her from NBC's The Voice or any of the many places she's been performing in the greater Westfield, Springfield area. You've done the Artworks Westfield, the Westfield Downtown Westfield concert series. You have done, you've been multiple times at the Majestic over in West
Yes.
Springfield. You sang the national anthem at the Red Sox. You've been at the Bitter End in New York City. You've been everywhere. It's fantastic. What's next for you? Any other places that you'll be performing?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to, I think the very next show is in Delaware in a couple of weeks. I'm singing with another person from The Voice. Her name is Olivia Rubini.
Okay.
And so we're doing like a joint show, which is, I think, another great thing about The Voice is like you kind of meet so many people and you get to work with them in different
Right.
ways. But that's coming up next. And then come the holiday season, we have a few really fun things coming up, like the tree lighting at MGM. And we're doing the Festival of Trees. Me and my band, we're going to be there. So really exciting.
Fun.
Yeah.
So you as a singer-songwriter, you're still young, so you're still building your catalog of music. So are your performances a mix of your original stuff and covers of other artists?
Yeah, so I love to do covers. I love to just sing songs that tell really great stories. But
What
then,
was the Fleetwood Mac one you sang?
oh, Landslide.
Landslide, right, which you
Yeah.
killed, by the way.
Thank
Thank you very
so
much.
much. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. But I love to sing songs like that you can kind of either have a lot of people connect to or you
Right.
could just like tell a really great story with. And that's mostly what I do at my shows. But then I like to sprinkle in some of my own in there to kind of like weave it through. So I think for the next few shows, there'll be more originals for sure.
Good to hear. So you've got your guitar with you,
Yes.
and I asked you to bring in your guitar to
Mhm.
like, play a little bit of a song. What song did you choose? And tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I'm going to sing my song that's called Juliet.
Okay.
And it's kind of just about a relationship when you feel like you might be putting in a little more than the other person. And I know that can cause some kind of like inner turmoil a little bit and you kind of question yourself. But, I think this song ends up having a more positive feel towards the end. Like it's kind of you get over that hurdle and you find yourself again. So yeah, this is
Play us a little bit of it.
Of course. I guess we're lying now. I guess we're saying things behind our backs that we never have the guts to say straight to each other's faces. I guess you hate me. I never smile now. Every time I try to laugh, I picture all the good, all the bad, all the promises that you made me. How could you hate me? It's like trying to mix oil and water. We would never work from the get-go, but we tried. It's like waiting at the airport for your next big destination, but the plane never arrives. You're the Romeo to my Juliet, but only one of us cared enough to die. I drank all my poison, but you're doing just fine.
That was amazing. So where do you get the inspiration for these?
Oh, goodness. Well, I think a lot of it comes from like
You didn't
personal
drink
experience.
poison, did
No,
you?
no,
Okay,
no.
good.
Didn't do that, I have to say.
Because Mom's sitting over
I
here.
know,
We gotta
she
make
said
sure.
I'm like, don't. No, I think a lot of it, I grew up reading a lot of like books and watching a lot of movies. So a lot of it comes from that. And also just having like conversations with friends. I
Okay.
have a lot of friends just from different places, different ages, and we all kind of like get together, especially having like songwriter friends. It's so helpful
Right.
when you're all like talking about something and then one of you goes, that'd be a really good song. So I think just from talking to so many people and living life. So yeah, a little mix of both.
There's a couple of other songs that you have written, My Baby Mine,
Mhm.
which I think a lot of people have heard.
Yeah.
And what's it? It's Chuck Taylor's? Or,
Yeah,
okay.
Chuck Taylor's.
Right. So, and those just come from life experience, right?
Yeah. Especially, I think My Baby Mine, because that was my first single. I kind of
Mhm.
wanted it to be like a really positive one that a lot of people could relate to. And that one is just about like seeing the people you love in everyday things. And I'm one of those people, like if I see something at a store or something that like reminds me to someone, I will immediately like send them a picture of it or like call them or like buy it for them. Like I'm just that person. And I think a lot of people are that way where like something just reminds you of someone and you're like, oh, I have to show it to them. So yeah, that one I'm really, really proud of.
So, this is kind of going to be an odd question. Do you know how many songs you've written, like that are
Ooh.
complete, either already recorded or ready to go? And then, like, how many are in the works? Or is that just, it's like just a notebook full of thoughts that at any time they could
Yeah.
be formed into a song?
It's kind of a mix of both. I have like my notes app on my phone is a complete mess because anytime that I have any idea, I'll like jot it down or my like voice memo. Sometimes I'll like wake up like at 2 a.m. and I'm like singing into my microphone and it sounds terrible. But then later I'll like form a song around that.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a notebook full of songs. And then I have a few that are ready to go that I'm looking to release either at the end of this year or early next year. I'm kind of like hopefully building album a little bit, which would be really exciting.
That would be
Yeah.
really cool. So, and on that note,
Mhm.
how does your experience with NBC's The Voice or Dan and Shay, do any of those connections help you with that album creation and release? Or was that sort of, all right, I've done that. It's time to, it was great while it happened,
Yeah.
maybe I bounce an idea off them, but have you reaped any benefits other than the popularity and the availability to sing? Have you reaped any professional benefits from The Voice?
Yeah, I would say so 100%. I think, after you're on a stage like that, I feel like people start to take you a little more seriously, when
Mhm.
you're in front of millions of people and you're able to do something like that. Because it is very grueling, the whole process, but it's so rewarding. But yeah, I've been reached out to by other people to make music and by
Excellent.
potential managers and things like that. So it definitely opens so many doors, for sure.
That is
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, we are up on our second commercial break. We're here in the studio with Madison Curbelo. We'll be right back after this.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back to today's edition of InFocus. Across the desk from me is Westfield's very own Madison Curbelo, bringing us out of break with a little bit of strumming. Thank you very, very much. We mentioned earlier that you were at Fenway Park.
Yes.
World famous Fenway Park. What were you doing there?
Oh, I was singing the national anthem at a Red Sox game.
That's fantastic. So I got to ask, how does that happen? How do you end up, being a Westfield performer, and then next thing you know, you're on the Fenway Diamond?
It's honestly crazy. I still like wrapping my mind around the whole thing too. It was so much fun. So I actually, I had reached out to someone that I knew that actually got in contact with me through The Voice.
Okay.
And I was like, do you know any way that I could sing at like a sports game? Because I always want to do it. I want to sing for the Celtics and for the Patriots next. Hopefully, knock on wood, that's the goal. But I had reached out to him.
It'll come. It'll come.
I had reached out to him, and then he had connected me with someone else that was local to Boston. And they sent a video of me singing to the people at the Red Sox. And they were like, of course, like have her come. And it all kind of happened in like the span of, I think, like a week and a half.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was really, really short notice.
That's interesting, because I would have thought like any sports organization, the Red Sox, you got an 80 game home schedule.
Yeah.
Probably by February, they've got all that lined up. But you're saying a week and a half in advance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if like someone canceled or anything,
Who
but I was
cares?
like, I was like, I'll absolutely do it. Yeah.
I'm in. Who cares?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fun. So, all right. I mean, you've sung the national anthem before the Red Sox, but it is sort of one of those songs where you don't want to pull oh God, who I totally draw a blank on the name of the many people who have botched that song in that same venue.
Yeah.
How much did you practice leading up to it?
Oh my gosh. I was trying not to practice too much because I was like, I don't want to go up and sound like a robot. But it's weird because I think no amount of practice can prepare you for the feedback that you hear when you're in there. So I think there's like a 3-second delay. So when I would start singing, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No way. I don't think people realize that. I didn't realize that till just now.
It's very like trippy the way that it feels. So I would start singing, and then 3 seconds later, I would hear my voice in the actual like.
So did you have anything in your ears?
No, they don't have an in-ear system.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was interesting.
So would it have made sense for you to maybe like bring earplugs so you didn't hear that? Would that have helped you?
About it. I was thinking about it, but I think so I got to go the day before to practice, which was so helpful.
Crucial.
Yeah, to be able to like feel it out a little bit. But I was like, either way, I think I'm just going to like kind of like blank out a little bit like I like always do in like those big performance moments. But yeah, it was awesome, but a little weird.
Did you have music accompany? Like, were you playing your guitar, or were they playing the music, or it was just a solo vocal performance?
It was totally a cappella, so it was just me singing. Yeah.
And a 3-second delay. That's weird. I know there have been times here, my previous role with Mass Appeal, you got the earpiece in, and you have that, and that messes with you. It really does.
Yeah. And then especially, like you said, with this song, it's like you can't mess up the national anthem. So I was like, let me just focus. I think if you watch the video, there's like a point like halfway through where I'm just like looking straight, focus on one thing. I was like, I got this. I got to focus.
Did you stick around for the game?
I did, yeah.
Excellent.
I got to watch it. I've actually never been to a Red Sox game before. So I know. It was my very first game. I brought my parents. It was their first game too. So
you had not been. Hold on, I gotta get mom my camera.
Get mom.
You had not been to a game before? Really?
Yeah.
It's funny because living here in Western Mass, it's not around the corner. It's a 90+ minute drive, and I hate to say it, but tickets aren't as affordable as they once were. Maybe when we were kids. But yeah, so that's good. Yeah. Good for all of you. Good for the whole family.
It was amazing to get to bring them to their first game and have me sing at it at the same time. It was like just an added layer of what's happening. It's so fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right. So, so hopefully the goal is you'll be at Boston Garden for a Celtics or Bruins game.
Yes.
Actually, Todd Angeli does the Bruins, so you're out there. So maybe a Celtics game, even a Patriots game or a Revolution game.
Oh, I would love to do one of those.
What about, have the Westfield Starfires recruited you for anything there?
Yeah. So actually, like right after The Voice, I got to sing the national anthem there, and I got to do a little performance like for one of their games. It was downpouring, but a lot of people still came, so it was really fun. It was so fun.
That is excellent. Okay, so what is next for you? So you've got, we talked a little bit about your performance schedule coming up, playing MGM, the Christmas shows in our area. What is are there bigger ambition? Obviously, there are bigger ambitions, but what is like the next goal that you see on the horizon that, you know, recording in Nashville or, you know, opening for a big act? What's your dream?
Oh goodness, I feel like I have so many, but I'd say the next immediate one that I'm really working hard on is to hopefully get a record deal, and either like a record deal or a publishing deal, which is basically where I get to write for other people. So yeah, I'd say that that's the next big thing, and kind of, just trying to get my music out to as many people as possible and take it to the next professional stage with my actual songwriting. So
Have you
yeah,
seen? I think it's on Netflix. It's a documentary called I want to say It All Starts with a Song or something
I
like that. And
haven't seen that.
I encourage you to watch it
Hmm.
because I might have the title wrong, but it's all about those people who write the songs for others
Hmm.
and how hard that is to,
Yeah.
but being a songwriter yourself might be worthwhile watching. But I mean, but you've got both. Like there are songwriters who they're not singers, they're not performers.
Hmm.
They just sit there with a pen or a computer and write songs. And then there are those like you who do it both. So you're multi-talented. You've got a lot of skill, young
Thanks for
lady.
hyping me up.
Exactly. So that would be a cool thing to do
Mhm.
is be able to, and they're there. I mean, you think, oh my God, Jackson Brown, so many people have done their own things and also had other people record their
Mhm.
songs. So that would be a great idea. But
Yeah.
is it one of those, you got to have those connections, or circling back to your time on NBC's The Voice, are those connections there? You just have to cultivate them.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a mix of both. I think a lot of the times, like, there was a phase with the music industry where it was all about, like, a viral video or, like,
Yeah.
online, you had
Yeah.
to have, like, a million followers in order for them to take you seriously, but I think now it's like a pivoting moment where people are starting to realize, like, it's the quality of the song over, the virality
Right.
of it, so I think it's a mix of just keeping on putting myself out there, going to events and networking a little bit, but yeah, a little bit of that.
So what if somebody takes your song, like say Juliet, which
Mhm.
you sang for us, and totally changes it into a rock song? Like,
Mm.
how would you feel about that?
I feel like I would love it. I would
What
absolutely
about heavy metal?
love it. I'm if they wanna turn My Be Mine into a rap song, I would definitely listen to it. I think it's really cool because you see a lot of people, like, gain their, like, notoriety from covers and great covers,
Right,
and,
right.
Luke Combs did Fast Car, which is, like, the one that, like,
Exactly.
immediately comes to mind, so I'm totally for anyone wanting to take one of my songs and make it their own. I think it's really cool, and that's just, like, a testament to how awesome music is and how, like, universal it can be to take one song and completely flip it on its head, so, yeah, make all the rock covers of Juliet you want to.
Knock yourselves out, people. All right, we've only got a few seconds left.
Mhm.
If you don't mind, I'm a fan of Chuck Taylor's. So can you play a little bit of that
Yeah.
as we head out?
Do you still wear those Chuck Taylors with the holes right through the sole? Like your coffee black, always fade to the back of the crowd when you're on your own. Is your sister still dancing? Do you go to every recital? Flowers in hand, stand-up man, the one that I fell for. You told me to leave. I did what you said to find the life of my dreams. Now I just miss you instead. My bags are all packed. I'm leaving the door. Text you, I'm coming back. Do you still love me anymore?
You've been watching today's version of In Focus. Madison Curbelo has been kind enough to join me. Best of success, my friend.
Thank you
I'm
so
so looking forward to
much.
following your career. Good seeing you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.